Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about what it's like being in a long distance relationship. First things first, it's not easy. My boyfriend is living in North Carolina. He's actually stationed there. He's in the US Army. He's an 82nd Airborne Paratrooper. I definitely said that wrong, but he's at Fort Bragg. So, hold on, I'm going to turn off the music. Okay, so I'm gonna answer some questions, general questions I found online about long distance, and just address some of the typical maybe misperceptions or clear up anything people might think about long distance relationships. I think this could help some people. I know someone suggested that I talk about this topic, and then someone else had replied and said this would be so helpful because they're in this situation and they're kind of that in-between stage where they don't know if they should be in a long distance relationship. So that's definitely something I want to talk about too. The first thing I want to, let me give you a background on me and Dante. So me and Dante have been long distance now for about 1.5 years. Prior to getting in a relationship, we had been friends for years, about 2 years at that point. I'll give you a timeline. We met in 2015, September of 2015, and then we started dating in December of 2018. Yeah, wait. Yeah. I was gonna say, wait, was it 2017? Yeah, wait. I don't know how long we've been dating, just kidding. December 2017 we started dating, so about 2 years after we met. So we had been friends. I met him at college at Rutgers, and we were friends. Stupid. Whatever, so we were friends, and after our freshman year in college, he had to make the decision to enlist in the Army in order to continue his college education someday, and that's currently what he's doing. His contract is for 4 years, so from 2016 to 2020, and he enlisted our sophomore year. So he stopped going to Rutgers. Like I said, we were friends. Never thought in a million years I'd date him. Sorry, Dante. But we really were just really good friends, so I never anticipated being in a relationship with him, especially being that he was in the Army and he was far away. It just seemed so unrealistic in a way. So I was definitely never in that mindset at first. Long story short, we started taking our friendship to the next level, and we started dating while he was away, and it only took about a month for us to kind of realize we wanted to make it work and be in a relationship. And I definitely took a leap of faith because I was very unsure of how it would go. I was also a junior in college, and you just hear all these things be single in college and it's not worth it to have a boyfriend and it's probably not gonna last. And I definitely learned my lessons. Having relationships in college were really hard and a rocky place to kind of have a relationship. So let's start. Okay, so where I want to start first, confidence in the relationship. So for those who are maybe iffy about being in a long distance relationship, I would say definitely establish your relationship in a way where you kind of are on the same page. You are talking about your future, maybe not long into the future, but you're making future plans. You know, when are we going to see each other next? How are we going to make it work while you are gone, while I'm gone? So oh my god, giant bee. Establish that kind of foundation. You definitely want to have confidence in one another, and this goes along with trust, which is also a huge topic in long distance relationships. I was lucky enough to really know Dante and get to know him as a friend before I started dating, and I kind of always say if it was anyone else, I don't think I would be in a long distance relationship willingly. However, I think the whole thing lies within the confidence of the person you are with and how much trust you have with them, because not having this confidence could lead to insecurity and, you know, make you question why you're in the relationship. One of the main points of being in a long distance relationship is communication, and unfortunately, well actually fortunately, we are lucky enough to live in a time where you can FaceTime someone. Oh my god, my cat. Hey! Oh my god, are you okay? Oh my god, my cat keeps fighting with my neighbor's cat. Did you guys hear that? Pepper, come back. That was terrifying. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Look at this. Ah! There's a giant bee. It's just like one of those bumblebees, but still, it shit was huge. Okay, okay. Okay, so one of the most important things of a long distance relationship is your communication. So like I said, fortunately, we are living in a time where you can communicate almost face to face with FaceTiming or Skyping. But I FaceTime my boyfriend, and that is one of like the biggest struggles, like communicating solely on technology. Like that's what sucks, because like you don't want your relationship to kind of only be through your phone. But I tell Dante this all the time and he hates me for it, but I tell him the only way we have to communicate right now is through our phones, which fucking sucks, because to me, or I guess to anyone, it can seem like it's not as real, or it's just so unfeasible to have like a deep relationship with someone. So that's definitely one of the hardest things, and the biggest challenge in a long distance relationship is kind of keeping up with that communication through the phone. Being committed to the relationship, this is a big one. So this here says, if you're in college, really truly think about if you love this person and if it's worth forging being single in college. That was like a huge like thing in the back of my head, which I'm looking back was so stupid to even like question that, but I was definitely hesitant. This goes for anyone, even if you're not in college. Like, is it like worth, do you feel like it's worth risking? Am I gonna waste my time? And I think that's really important to consider, because it is a huge commitment. You don't want to half-ass it. You don't want to half be in the relationship, half out of it. It can really taunt the other person. The other person might be fully committed to you, and if that's not clear from the go, you are gonna face issues down the line somewhere about commitment and trust issues. Also, the whole single in college thing is just overrated. For me personally, I felt like being single is just a confusing stage of life.
No one knows what the fuck they want.
And that's why I really trusted Dante specifically, because he wasn't in that environment, so that may have made things a little bit clearer and easier to accept. Like, he was already in his adult life with a full-time job and different priorities. Definitely want to make sure your partner is on that same wavelength as you and is like committed to being with only you. It's kind of like imperative that you both have like a goal, or maybe not so much a goal, but maybe like a plan with your relationship, because I think if you're just unclear with like what you want, and don't get me wrong, I think the relationship, when you're in a long distance relationship or any relationship, you should take it day by day. Like, there should be no rush on anything, but specifically when you are in a long distance relationship, I think it's important to have somewhat of a plan, even if it's as short term as, okay, when's the next time I can see you, I can visit you, or you can visit me. This is kind of interesting. So, especially in my situation, when you are in a long distance relationship and you don't see that other person, misunderstandings can kind of come up a lot. And I think that's because maybe it's because you don't have that face-to-face interaction, so you're not really as aware maybe of like what they're going through. You don't really know what the other person is dealing with on a daily basis if you don't see them. So it's definitely really important to be patient, and most importantly understanding of, you know, what they do every day in their lives, and take it with a grain of salt. Okay, I ran out of space on my other memory cards, so I must be rambling. Okay, so funny. So people say like military homecomings are like these special moments, and they totally are, and Dante has not deployed yet, so maybe this will happen when he comes back. But it's okay for your reunions to not be like everything you hoped for and more, like a fairy tale. Like, they're often not, and it's, how do I put this? They're so amazing. So like, I don't know, maybe people anticipate the reunion to be amazing, magical. Sometimes they're not, and like, it's fine. Like, I'm still so fucking happy every time I see him, but maybe that's one thing like people should keep in mind. Also, when you are together, it's kind of okay to not be doing everything you want to do with them when you don't see them. Like, of course, when Dante comes home, I want to spend every second with him. Do I? No. Am I getting better at that? Yes, because oftentimes when he does come home, I hone in on him. Don't expect them to spend all of their time just with you. Being in a long distance relationship actually has advantages, believe it or not. For instance, I almost feel like it's more special when you do see them. The time you have with them is probably maybe more exciting than it would be with a partner you see on a daily basis or weekly basis. The appreciation you have for one another, I think it's just that much more significant. I think it makes it really exciting, actually. Like, yeah, I don't see my boyfriend for 5 months at a time, but when he comes home, it's like
the best feeling in the world, and I can't really describe it without sounding really corny, and that's not what I'm trying to do here.
A big thing, my like piece of advice is to try to keep a positive outlook on your relationship. If you are questioning whether it's worth it or not, it's probably not. So I think if you're kind of like in that in-between stage where you're like, this person lives far away, I think I really like them, is it worth it? Give it a try. Try as long as, maybe not 1 week, but you can probably try for as long as a month and know if it's gonna work. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And in my opinion, a month of time could be a long time, but at the same time, I just said time 5,000 times. At the same time, I think that's, a month can tell a lot. You could tell those person's like habits, their communication habits. You could tell if they have trust, I guess, if you're on that level. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I'm trying to get everything across. So I think you should try.
And I think it's important too to kind of just tell a person, be honest and say, I don't know if I'm ready for this, and if it's gonna work, then I will try with you. The other person should be accepting of that. Or maybe if you are the other person, you should put that out there, like, let's try this. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like, we can always say we tried, you know?
This is an interesting point. I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but relearning how to be intimate. So you don't wanna lose like a deep connection with the person. So like, that's important to keep that level of intimacy. Keep things interesting. That's like all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope I hit all points. And as for Dante, the next time I will see him is his leave block, which is coming up June 1st, which is only a week away. And he will be here for 17 days, and I'm so excited. I just recently got a full-time job, so lucky for him, I won't be seeing him as much. And this is like right before his deployment, so that's gonna fucking suck. I probably won't see him for like at least 6 months. And then he's done with the army in March of 2020, so yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. But it's interesting because he lives in South Jersey, I'm in North Jersey, so even when he does move home, it's still gonna be a little bit of a LDR. However, we will be way closer than 500 miles apart, and you best believe I will be seeing him every second of every day. Psych. I have a video with him and it's a boyfriend tag, and I know it's super corny, but I've been watching YouTube for years and I've always wanted to do one. I just never had a boyfriend to do it with. So yeah, I'm gonna upload that probably after this video. I don't know, we'll see, but it's super fun. He like clearly hates being on camera, but it's kind of interesting. You get to learn a little bit more about us and the type of relationship we have, I guess. No, he's super shy on camera, but he's really not in person. He definitely hates that I coerced him to do it. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful to someone out there. And yeah, now you get to kind of be in on what it's like to be in a long distance relationship, and bottom line, it fucking sucks. Just kidding. All right, thanks guys.